We're talking 2023 free agency. We've got Tom Brady news. Yes, we got Tom Brady news. We got Saquon Barkley news, Derek Carr news, and more. We're taking phone calls. We're doing it live. File on in. Hit that thumb up button. Your boy is here for you every single day, Monday through Friday, and more. We go live at midnight most every other night, like we will tonight, to probably draft on Underdog. Promo code SMITTY. Let's get to it.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios, it's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
What is going on, everybody? My name is Smitty. You're watching the Fantasy Football Show, and we got a lot to talk about. We've got all kinds of news and notes. We've got Tom Brady news. Yes, I'll break that down in a second. We've got all the free agent talk that we're going to obviously dive into. And then we've got this franchise tag window open where teams can slap this franchise tag on players. There are two different tags. We'll go over all of that and more. The Fantasy Football Show is just getting started, buddy boys. So dial on in if anybody wants to ask a brief question. We won't be doing long phone calls right now, but if you have a 20-second question in the middle amongst all the content I'm about to drop right now in this small window of time in news droppage, go ahead and swing on in and ask a question. So first piece of news, let's go over the Tom Brady news. This is not anything crazy, but there are many people, and I am included in that group of people, that believe that eventually we're going to hear this guy Tom Brady announce that he's going to want to play football again. I don't know that it's going to be any time before week 1, but it wouldn't shock me. And there's a report. This is from let's see. The guy's name is, I'll pull it up right now. The guy's name is Ben Volin from the Boston Globe. And he writes this about Tom Brady. Okay. Tom Brady announced his retirement for the second time this month and even filed retirement papers with the NFL. Except the retirement papers are a symbolic gesture that means nothing. And every other action by Brady suggests that he's keeping his options open to play in 2023. So hear me out. And I do believe this is my feeling. Okay, this isn't me reading a report and going, "Oh, wow, I already feel this way." So when I read this, I'm like, you know what? I'm glad other people with a big platform like the Boston Globe actually, wrote something like this, because I truly feel like Brady at some point's coming back, whether it's a team injury, in a team like the Niners, or God forbid somebody goes down on the New York Football Jets that they bring in, or let's say the Raiders bring in Aaron Rodgers and Rodgers goes down, or something happens. I think there's an opportunity in that from that angle, and there's also an opportunity later on in the offseason. If Brady truly is done, let's see here. Here it is. First came the news that Brady said that he won't begin his broadcasting career until 2024. Now, we all thought that was a little strange, right? We said, but he wants to spend time with his family and his kids and give him a good year. Have a good year of taking time off. Kind of something you can understand. Miami's another one, Andres, of course. Miami Dolphins call. Tua, that's probably the most likely situation too, because Tua, if the Dolphins do roll with Tua, and let's say they don't make any kind of crazy bold trade, Tua's the most likely to get hurt out of all the quarterbacks. He's the most injury-prone quarterback, or probably player in the NFL, in my opinion. That's my opinion. I don't buy into these crazy reports that are supposedly from doctors that have talked to the GM of the Miami Dolphins, also according to the GM of the Dolphins, talked to the NFLPA. There's no way Tua is going to play a full season. Sorry, I'll open the phone line right now. I didn't actually have it open yet. So first came that Brady won't begin his broadcasting career until 2024. Then came what Brady didn't do: sign a new contract with the Buccaneers to give them relief of $35.1 million in dead salary cap money if he leaves for 2023. Brady could easily help out the Buccaneers by signing a contract. I'm reading the Boston Globe. By signing a contract worth the minimum salary. So he's not doing this. waiting to retire until after June 1 and spreading out that $35 million over multiple years. So he could easily help out the Bucs. He says if Brady truly is done playing, why not? There is no harm in signing a dummy contract, and the Bucs were always good to him. But Brady isn't helping out the Bucs. He isn't going to sign a new contract. He will be an unrestricted free agent on March 15, and the Bucs are going to take a full $35 million cap hit. It's possible the Bucs wanted it this way so they can take all their cap hit lumps, rebuild. There is that possibility. But it's just adding a little fuel to the fire that Brady, who I believe... Look, here's the thing about Tom Brady that a lot of people don't understand. Tom Brady was on his way to the Dolphins. That was as good as done. Sean Payton and Brady, there couldn't have been a more locked and loaded situation and potential trade set up. But then the Flores stuff unraveled it all. And then Brady didn't get traded. They couldn't do it at that point, so they pulled off. It was all done. There was no more secure trade or possible situation than Brady going to the Dolphins the year the Flores stuff all broke loose. That was as good as done. There were people in the NFL that said there was nothing more to be done. It was locked. And the reason that they had to unravel is because the Flores situation, the fact that Sean Payton was already going to be headed to Miami before interviews were even conducted and concluded, was corruption at the highest level in terms of interview process for fair interview process for coaches and such. So it unraveled. And then Tom Brady, there's reports that Tom Brady was as good as locked and loaded to go to the Las Vegas Raiders this offseason, but then decided to retire. Tom Brady also gave an interview the week before his playoff loss, before his first retirement, and he said, I couldn't imagine retiring at this level of play that I'm at right now, confidently said, and he retired the next day. Then he came back. So if anybody says, oh, Tom Brady says he's really done, Tom Brady retired already and came back within 1 month. Don't tell me Tom Brady's done just because he says he's done. He's already burned that bridge with me in terms of trusting him to retire or not retire. But Tom Brady, there is a world where he returns to football. Why is this relevant? Well, in our best ball drafts, promo code Smitty, Underdog Fantasy, you can draft Tom Brady in the 20th round if you wanted to get a little risky and drop a little Tom Brady drafting. Look, in Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty, where they match up to $100 in your first deposit. The way you win these Underdog best balls is having something that no one else has. And let me drop that promo code for you. Go ahead and grab that bad boy. Your boy Smitty dropped the promo code right now. That'll get you up to $100 bonus match, dollar for dollar. But this is where this is where you win drafts. I'm going to pin that link as well. Make sure you sign up, because when we do drafts tonight, if you aren't already ready to go using that link and have your account created, your bonus match dollar for dollar on your new account, you're not going to get into the drafts tonight. We're doing live best ball drafts tonight. Smitty, you are on to something. I'm just saying, I don't know that this is going to play out the way it is, but this guy from the Boston, BostonGlobe.com is just mapping out what I already think. So I'm just telling you, I believe Tom Brady comes back in 2023. I don't know that it'll be in week 1. It could be the Tua situation. He replaces Tua. Miami Mike lures him in, and Tom Brady wins the championship in a Miami Dolphin uniform. Or it could be Las Vegas or the Jets. I don't think it's the Bucs. I think Tom Brady's out of that situation. As for Saquon Barkley, moving on to the next piece of news here. Actually, let's go to Carr first. Derek Carr, speaking to the NFL. Oh, yeah. Nevin, what's up?
Sorry, I didn't know if
That's right.
through or not.
That's right. Nevin, what can I do for you?
I just got a couple dynasty questions.
Keep it quick, because I'm in the middle of news. You got 20 seconds, pal. You can call back for a longer question after the news, but this is like I announced at the beginning, 20-second little question. Go.
All right. If I have Dameon Pierce and my other running back for dynasty is Miles Sanders and Tyler Algier, do you think I should trade Dameon Pierce for Dalvin Cook, a 2024 first and a 2024 second?
Your running backs are Dameon Pierce, Tyler Algier, and who?
Miles Sanders.
I mean, those are great running backs. And while I worry about Dalvin Cook, I mean, I certainly wouldn't do this trade for Dalvin Cook. But you're getting a 2024 first rounder on top of Cook, on top of
The second rounder.
Yeah, it's tough to say because, like, I love Dameon Pierce, but Dameon Pierce could vanish, as quickly as he emerged. I mean, we don't 100% know if they're going to lean on him as the full-time starter. Will they draft a rookie running back? Will a rookie running back fall too far, and then all of a sudden the Houston Texans scoop one up? Could the Houston Texans take, probably not likely, but could they take Bijan Robinson at 12 overall? They could. Could the Texans trade down? I doubt it because I think they want one of these quarterbacks. Could they trade down the 2 pick and get all more draft capital everywhere? It's possible. I love Dameon Pierce though. Chat, vote. Go ahead.
If it was Najee Harris instead of Dalvin Cook, what do you think about that?
Yeah, definitely take the chance on Najee.
All right.
Yeah, I
think that's all I might call in later though after you're done with the news segment.
Yeah, definitely do. But chat, give him a vote on that Dalvin Cook in the first rounder. The thing is, where's the first rounder going to be? If you had to guess.
It'll probably be late, but right this year in the rookie draft, I have a 1.07 and 1.12.
Could you use that that 2024 first rounder to move your 1.7 to like 1.2 or 1.3 or 1.1 specifically?
Yeah, I think I probably could. I also thought about maybe moving up the 1.07 and the 1.12, combining them both and maybe going up like 3 or 4 spots, maybe like 1.3.
Yeah, if you could get that done, I'd do that in a second. But if you said, Smitty, I got to give up Dameon Pierce to move my 1.7 to 1.1 or 1.2 or maybe even 1.3, I would say give up Pierce. Toss him in. Go get Charbonnet. Go get Jahmyr Gibbs. Go get, or if let's say Charbonnet falls to a very bad spot, you're going to at least get the number 1 wide receiver that you want. But I like the top 3 RBs. Dameon Pierce would be an easy throw-in to turn the 1.7 into Jahmyr Gibbs. Without a hesitation, and I love Dameon Pierce. So if you can turn Pierce into Cook in the first rounder, and I don't love Cook, I'm just letting you know, but then you keep Cook, but you trade the first rounder to move the 1.7 up to 1.2, then you got Jahmyr Gibbs and Cook over just Dameon Pierce, in the 1.7. Yeah. That's a steal. So I'm going to tell you that I don't love the idea of Cook, but I don't know that you're in a position where you're going to win a championship with just Dameon Pierce as your RB anyway. So maybe you can maneuver Cook in the pick for something else. But yeah, call back after, bro.
All right, thanks, buddy. See ya.
Yeah, later. If anybody else has a 20-second question, you can ask it, and then we'll open the phone lines a little later. Speaking on NFL Total Access, David Carr said his brother Derek Carr, free agent, said that the free agency process is going to be a long one, adding that he wants to do his due diligence and see as many places as he can to get a feel for what the best place for him will be. And I do think that this, to a degree, this is going to be the way it plays out. However, I think Derek Carr is also up against the clock because you've got Aaron Rodgers about to scoop up maybe his favorite landing spot. Think about it this way, supply and demand. If Derek Carr is wanting to this is his brother talking, not Derek Carr. I don't know why his brother needs to be in the spotlight right now about it, but whatever. I don't know that I trust what he's saying because Derek Carr might be sitting here going, like all of us would be, I really like the Jets. I've already met with them, and I really like the Jets. You know when you go buy a car and you drive the first car, you're like, I really like that car. What if somebody comes in and takes that car? You want to drive other cars. You want to go take your time, right? But at the end of the day, if you love the first landing spot, and who wouldn't love the New York Football Jets, you're going to be scared that your first landing spot, your main landing spot, won't change, and then Aaron Rodgers is coming out of the darkness, rubbing his eyes, getting used to the light, and literally walks straight to New York on foot, because that's how Aaron Rodgers rolls, and takes your job. So I think Derek Carr might take his time. That doesn't sound crazy, but at the same time, wouldn't surprise me if he struck right away to eliminate the idea of Aaron Rodgers stealing his home. You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Who am I talking to?
Yo, what's going on, Smitty? It's your boy Derek Lincoln, man.
Derek Lincoln in the house. What's up, man? Appreciate you.
Yes,
Where you
sir.
been? Where you been?
Oh, man. It's been crazy, man. Crazy. Working like I don't know what.
Well, glad you're here. What can I do for you?
Bro, I'm in a dynasty draft right now, and it's my turn right now, bro. And
We got
I got 8 hours to pick because it's a slow draft, and I'm third pick in the draft, but I'm in the second round right now.
Okay.
So I wanted to get your opinion on who I should take.
All right. Hit me with it. Who's available?
All right. Right now, it's a super flex, by the way. So, and it's a 2 quarterback league.
Who's your first pick?
Jalen Hurts.
Oh, nice. Okay, so Hurts is already on the squad. We're talking second round now.
Right.
Okay, and who's available?
Who should I go quarterback, or should I go wide receiver, running back? What position you want to look for first?
Just tell me the top guys available. Go straight down the board.
Okay, Barkley, Amon St. Brown, Jalen Waddle, Breece Hall, Stephon Diggs, Kenneth Walker, sorry. Josh Jacobs, ETN, Devontae Adams,
Okay.
Derrick Henry, Garrett Wilson.
What about these rookies?
Rookie, this is a league where you have to pick a kicker, and it'll go in like the next draft. So all the rookies are available right now. Nobody's off. So that means your boy Bijan is there. If I wanted him, I could do kicker and get the first pick in the first round if I wanted to.
Really? So you take a kicker. You take a kicker here and you get Bijan.
Yeah.
Nobody else can do that. You alone get Bijan because you did it first, or?
Yep, I'd alone get Bijan because I'll get the first draft. I'll get the first pick 101 in the rookie draft.
Okay.
I can take whoever I want in the rookie draft.
Joff, I take Charbonnet over Addison, bro. Okay, so I mean, God, if I'm not mistaken of how that works, I mean, I'm not understanding something. You take a kicker here, you're basically taking Bijan here. So I'm gonna take.
Yes.
If you don't do that, what pick do you get? How's the order get decided? Whoever takes a kicker last gets last place. Is that how it works?
Yes. Right.
Because, like, what if you could take a kicker next round? When's your next pick? How many picks away?
It's a long way away because it doesn't stick draft. It goes the other way for the third round.
And your guess is that
so it won't come right back around to me.
Your guess is that a lot of people are going to take kickers next round before you?
Yeah, I'm thinking somebody else is going to take a kicker next round before me. Or it might even take it near the end of this round.
I mean, Walker and Breece Hall are fantastic. I mean, without going that route, I'm fine with that. I love Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson Hurts is a phenomenal start. I don't go Adams or Diggs because it's a dynasty. Who's the top two quarterbacks?
Tua and Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. Is Aaron Rodgers there?
Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
There.
So my plan is to take Aaron Rodgers when you start getting close to where he could go. Because he's got 1 year maybe and he's older, people are going to ignore him. And if you walk out with Hurts and Aaron Rodgers, that you don't really have to sacrifice a really early pick, you're going to be good to go.
Right.
Ziggy, show me the backyard. Okay, so I'm going to say, bro, and I don't know if anybody disagrees with me in the chat, but I want Bijan. And I want him bad.
Go kicker.
Yeah,
Okay.
but is there some kind of disadvantage I'm not seeing later? Like, I don't know that. And for example, you take Ziggy off, you take Kenneth Walker here, and then you still could get a kicker next round, and you land Charbonnet or Gibbs. But if you think that the top 4 picks are going to be gone because people will be taking kickers next round, then that doesn't make sense. I just can't see that. I don't really know because I'd rather have Walker and Gibbs than to have Bijan and then whatever you're probably going to get left with. But bro, Man, this is tough. What are you guys thinking in the chat? Should he go kicker here and then lock himself into the 1.1? We got Peanut Butter and Waiver says, Derek, get Bijan. That's how I'm feeling. I take Bijan Robinson, bro. That's what I would do. Unless, again, there's something that I'm going to be like, oh, later that isn't explained, or, you know, that like you would have got Gibbs anyway in the third round doing this. You said you were very far away. My guess is that you maybe even trigger some sort of rookie kicker situation to where maybe by the time you get back to your third drafted player, I don't think Garrett Wilson will be there, but you listed Garrett Wilson pretty late. You're telling me Garrett Wilson is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8th ranked player right now?
Let me see.
I mean, if you got Garrett Wilson as well.
Yeah, he's down there. Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, he's about 50, like almost like 15 spots.
Yeah. If you get Garrett Wilson or even like Christian Watson, man. Or Olave. What about Olave? You gonna land Olave next, maybe?
Olave, yeah, he's down there too.
You know what I mean? Like rather than take, let's rule out. We got to rule out wide receiver here because St. Brown, Waddle, Olave, Garrett Wilson. There's arguments to be made that Olave and Garrett Wilson are better than St. Brown and Waddle. Not saying I would necessarily draft him that way, but when you start talking about the availability of your wide receiver one is gonna be fine. I think. I mean, you never know. Running back is what I'm concerned about. Quarterback, I don't like the quarterbacks. I'd rather have Aaron Rodgers as your second quarterback because you already got Hurts, bro. You're set. Running back, but Bijan's the number one running back that I'd take in a dynasty startup. Take Bijan. Don't even think twice. I love Walker, but you know, I couldn't pass on Bijan. He's the next LT, man.
You think he's the next LT?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I do. He's a Mars man. Look at this. Look.
He's on a shuttle to Mars. Mars man.
I mean, you get yourself Bijan.
Loads dropping and spinning aimlessly in space.
And somehow find yourself a Garrett Wilson or at least an Olave who's, you know, borderline Garrett Wilson in terms of talent. I mean, this guy's the limit. Now, what happens if you want to take another rookie? Do you have to take another kicker in the next round?
Yeah.
So if you wanted 3 rookies, you got to take 3 straight kickers? That's funny.
Yes.
Hey, just make sure you take the best kicker, the highest scoring kicker in your format. You're going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Right. Well, they're not doing kickers in this league.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No,
so it's a placeholder. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, man. You know, if Gibbs or Charbonnet's there, maybe Charbonnet's going to be there. I'll tell you what, bro. Grandmas don't know Charbonnet's coming, and if this league's got some grandmas in it, you may be kicking again in round 3. But or you could say, like, you know, you could take one of the rookies. But I don't love this rookie wide receiver class like everybody else. I'd rather have Olave. I'd rather have Garrett Wilson, of course, over any of the rookie wide receivers. Olave over any of the rookie wide receivers. Maybe even Drake London. Like, if you walk away, is this a 3 wide receiver league or a 2?
Let me see. 3 wide receiver.
So it wouldn't be crazy to go like Olave London or Garrett Wilson London.
And it's an IDP. It's an IDP league too.
Okay, IDP. But I doubt anybody's taking IDP players in the first like 3 or 4 rounds, right?
Oh, not yet.
I would go. I mean, man, if you could get London and Garrett Wilson with your back-to-back picks here, or Garrett Wilson then London, that would be good too. Like you'd be set up pretty nicely. Hurts, Bijan, Garrett Wilson, London, but ETN might fall to your next pick potentially. Walker won't. I don't think Diggs or Adams do, and I would go an old dog Diggs or Adams in the 3rd round because just what it gives you firepower wise. If you had Adams, Hurts, and Bijan, watch out. But I doubt they fall. I doubt St. Brown falls. Breece Hall could fall because of the injury.
Yeah, these are some smart guys. These are some smart guys, man.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
All right, Derek, you got it, bro. Bijan, call back a little bit later if you want to discuss it further because the phone lines will be open.
Okay.
All right, Derek. Appreciate you, man. Call
Thanks,
back.
Vinny.
Yeah, call back
Appreciate
later.
you, bro.
Yep, you too.
All right.
Okay, so we've got Derek Carr news. We've been talking about not ready to discuss specifics when he was at. Oh, this is Carolina Panthers. Frank Wright said the team was not ready to discuss specifics when asked about the possibility of pursuing Derek Carr. Maybe because Derek Carr doesn't feel the same way back. That's like going to somebody who's not dating somebody and saying, "How do you feel about dating so and so that doesn't want to date you?" Like, I'm not ready to talk about it right now. We're still browsing. I don't think Derek Carr is going to the Carolina Panthers. Why would he? Why would he? Let me ask you. Why would you eat beef, shredded hamburger beef, when you could have steak? Why would you drink a Michelob Light when you could have a nice bottle of Zach Charbonnet?
Get Charbonnet.
You know what I'm saying?
A nice bottle of Charbonnet.
It makes no sense to be looking at the Carolina Panthers. This is a dumb conversation and really a waste of my time, to be quite frank. And let's go to Barkley. My last thoughts on Derek Carr. I got to keep up with this. Why am I not updating this graphic here? Derek Carr. My last thoughts on Derek Carr are that I think that let's think about this for a second. Where is the best location for Derek Carr? It's gonna be the Jets. It's gonna be the Jets. When we look at the available quarterback board, the Aaron Rodgers and Derek Carr board, Miami can't afford him most likely unless they give him the bag and promise you are the starter, and the contract indicates you're the starter. This is tough to imagine, right? I imagine if the Miami Dolphins do go big on a quarterback, they're including Tua in the trade with whatever team's getting a lot of draft capital. And the Miami Dolphins don't have a 2023 first-round pick, so any trade with the Miami Dolphins is a little watered down because it's going to be a 2024 first and a 2025 first, and Tua for a big-name quarterback like whatever. And I don't think that they can do – I don't think – Lamar's going to cost at least 3 first-rounders, so Lamar isn't going to the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins – have a shot at Derek Carr. They have a shot at Aaron Rodgers, but there's no talk about that at all, although there should be. There should be. I don't know why there's not, but there should be. So Derek Carr is kind of like, it feels like the final lifeline for Miami Mike to get a signal caller in, because I don't know that Lamar's going there. I don't know that it sounds like Lamar is going to command 3. Some say 4 first-rounders, but at least 3 first-rounders. Could be 4. You don't know. I don't even know if a team has 4 first-rounders. You can only trade 3 draft cycles in advance. So I don't even know who has 4 first-rounders in the talks that we're going. The New York Jets have the 13 pick, and yeah, they don't have another first-rounder in this year's draft. I don't know about next year, but the Jets are Derek Carr's best landing spot. He'd be crazy not to jump on the situation and apply a little pressure and say, hey, New York, I'm going to go over to, where am I going to go? I'm going to go over to, my name's Derek Carr. Let's highlight Derek Carr. My name's Derek Carr, and if you don't sign me today, I'm going to the New Orleans Saints, where I've already visited. Had a nice little pot of coffee over in New Orleans, and we discussed getting me a brand new contract. Right now, because I can sign right now. Derek Carr has the world by the balls right now because he's the only quarterback on this list that can sign tonight, tomorrow. He can sign a minute from now. No one else can. They can't sign until March. They're until next month. None of these guys can get traded or sign until next month. Derek Carr's got time. The only thing he doesn't have time is the assumption that Aaron Rodgers wants to go to New York will make New York maybe pump the brakes on Derek Carr. But if you're New York, okay, the draft capital, you don't have to trade for Derek Carr. You have to trade for Aaron Rodgers. You're giving up multiple first-round picks for Aaron Rodgers, who might be on a year rental. You don't even know if Aaron Rodgers is coming back after 2023. You don't even know if he's coming back this year. He's still in the darkness, or he's coming out of the darkness. We don't really know. If this breaks while I'm live, we'll have to talk about that. But I mean, the Jets can get Derek Carr on a multiple-year deal without giving up draft capital, and New York will turn him into a good quarterback. I don't feel like Derek Carr is garbage. I think everyone else feels like Derek Carr is garbage is tying him too closely to the Las Vegas Raiders situation. Let me tell you something. Since Derek Carr's been in Las Vegas, where have the Raiders ranked? I have a stat here. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. Let me pull it up. Let's see here. I have it somewhere. I believe the Raiders are in the bottom 3 in points per game. The bottom against defensively. Their defense is in the bottom 3 in terms of points per game. Bottom 3 in terms of interceptions. Bottom 5, I believe, in yardage. This is arguably one of the worst defenses in the entire National Football League over the course of time that Derek Carr has been in Las Vegas. And the New York Jets are top 1 to 4 in almost every category. Every one of those categories I just named, you're talking about a top 4 defense versus a bottom 4 defense. Quarterback's going to look real different in those different lights. It's like being at the club and the lights are off, being at the club and the lights are on. It's night and day. It's night and day. And Derek Carr is going to look pretty good in this situation, getting field position, not getting worn down, having his defense give up so many amount of points that this guy's got to try and do miracles and throw picks trying to get his team back into it. More of a game manage Derek Carr, which I think still will do well. But I'm telling you right now, if you're clowning on Derek Carr and you think Derek Carr is garbage.
Motion detected at the backyard.
Ziggy, show me the backyard. And by backyard, I mean front yard, because he's confused all the time. This guy's worthless. I can't get rid of him, though. I'm a little, sentimental to him. But he gets mixed up and confused all the time. I believe we got some Amazon packages being delivered. So, but now he can't load because he's Ziggy. Ziggy, show me the backyard.
Okay.
You say that, but then you don't do it. God, Ziggy, you're worthless. Ziggy, who's the starting quarterback for the New York Jets? Ziggy, who's the starting quarterback for the New York Jets?
The starting quarterback of the New York Jets is Joe Flacco.
He doesn't know anything. Ziggy, who's the starting quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers?
The starting quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers is Brock Purdy.
Okay, he likes Brock. Ziggy, who's the starting quarterback for the Las Vegas Raiders?
The starting quarterback of the Las Vegas Raiders is Jarrett Stidham.
That's true right now. Ziggy, where is Aaron Rodgers right now?
From Madison.com. Rodgers, who makes his off-season home in Southern California, has been staying in the Los Angeles area convalescing following surgery. If you'd like another answer, just say, next.
Next.
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Yeah, of course you aren't. Ziggy, you're dismissed. Okay. Ziggy, show me the backyard, please. Okay, let's get back to it. So Derek Carr. He's still not loading it. There he is. Okay. Oh, another package. Double. We got double packages out there. They're hidden pretty well, though. I don't think anybody's any package pirate's gonna come up and. Although we'll get motion, and I could flip a camera around, and walk out there, and do some damage if someone tries to steal one. So, Ziggy off. Last piece of news here, Barkley. So Derek Carr, it would be smart to sign with the New York Football Jets. Saquon Barkley. There's a belief in league circles that $14 million per season would be enough to keep impending free agent Saquon Barkley. There is a report that actually I lied. Here's another report. Danny Dimes, Pro Football Talk reports the Giants are likely to franchise tag Danny Dimes. Why? Why not get this guy inked to a long-term deal? Because he expects Aaron Rodgers money. He expects Jalen Hurts money. This guy wants to set the market. Already after 1 year. He wants $45 million a year. And I'm not saying that I wouldn't ask for it too. Ziggy, off. But there's no way he's getting this. If he's standing firm on even $40 million a year, he's not going to get that. He's not going to get that off one season where Dable made him. Dable brought him back to life. Dable's not going to give him $45 million a year. I don't think so. Stranger things have happened, but it looks like Danny Dimes will be on his way to being franchise tagged, probably of the non-exclusive variety, which means that the franchise tag number is $32 million instead of $45. There are two types of franchise tags, the exclusive franchise tag and the non-exclusive. The exclusive is where teams can't, slap an offer sheet down in front of you, try and steal you away. They call it the prison tag. This is what a lot of players coined the franchise tag as, the prison tag, because it would imprison a player and make them unable and incapable of going anywhere. They had no move to make. And it was designed for quarterbacks back in the day. Now it's used for multiple positions, but it was mainly designed for the quarterback back in the day. So this tag, it holds you in place if it's the exclusive tag. You can't go anywhere. You can't negotiate. No one can negotiate with you. The team can literally say, we're open to trading them on the tag, and you can sign it to a new deal and announce that in unison with the trade being announced. But we're only going to accept 3 first-rounders, 2 first-rounders, 1 first-rounder, whatever they want, right? So in the case of Lamar Jackson commands at least 3 first-rounders. Some say 4, but at least 3 first-rounders. Let's not get excited and say 4. Let's say 3 first-rounders. So on the non-exclusive tag, any team can come and try and steal the player away. They offer an offer sheet up, and the player, if the team accepts, like, oh, wow, you're going to pay Lamar Jackson $50 million a year for 7 years? The Ravens are like, we already said no to that. Go ahead and take him. That's the non-exclusive tag. But the compensation is 2 first-rounders. Because Lamar commands at least 3, maybe 4, some say, 3 first-rounders at least. There's no way they would put the non-exclusive tag on Lamar, because any team in the world would come by that needs a quarterback and only surrender 2 first-rounders. Danny Dimes might get the non-exclusive tag. The difference, too, is that you save a boatload of money. The non-exclusive tag is you're paying, let's say, Danny Dimes $32 million for the 1 year. Danny Dimes will make $32 million at quarterback with the non-exclusive franchise tag. Teams could come and offer him an offer sheet. Let's say, hey, I'll give you $40 million a year. And they only want to pay you $32 on the tag. We'll give you $40, but they're going to surrender 2 first-rounders to the New York Giants? I don't think so. And the Giants would be like, give me the 2 first-rounders. We'll take it. So don't expect the $45 million franchise tag, which is the exclusive tag, to be dropped on Danny Dimes. Now, teams can only drop one franchise tag per year. That means that if the team, even if they non-exclusive tag Barkley, Danny Dimes, they can't. The New York Giants cannot drop another tag, regardless of which one, because they already used a tag on Barkley, which means they either got to sign Barkley before March 15, when he's set to free agency to go sign wherever he wants. They got to sign him to a $14 million deal, according to this report, on a multi-year deal, or he's walking. Because if they franchise tag Danny Dimes, he is a free agent on March 15, because he's an unrestricted free agent. They can't hold him. They have no rights. They can only try and lure him in, saying, let's give you $14 mil, Bark. Come back, Barks. We need you. We need you, pal. And maybe he wants to stay. And maybe they offer him what he's owed. But now, because he's so much more affordable than a $40 million quarterback per year, this is a lot more likely to get done. Hence why they're going to try and roll the dice in signing Barkley in the what do we have? 15. We have like 25 to 27 days or whatever before they have to make sure that they have Barkley signed. So they have a little bit less than a month to get Barkley inked to a new deal on what could be 12 to 14 million a year. And if Barkley says, no, I'm going to go test free agency, he's going to go get 14 mil somewhere. He's going to go to Miami Mike, potentially, and maybe play football for the Miami Dolphins, is what we're kind of thinking, right? Looking at this Miami Dolphin team that maybe needs a quarterback. Well, maybe they don't get a quarterback. Maybe Miami Dolphins end up inking Saquon Barkley as their big offseason move. And it's certainly possible. So Barkley most likely is getting 14 mil a year, guaranteed, or not guaranteed. I don't know how much his guarantee would be. He's getting $14 million per year on a multi-year deal. I don't know how much of it being guaranteed or he's hitting free agency. So that's the news. Appreciate you all with hanging tight on the news.
From the fantasyfootballshow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
Well, there was your breaking news. Dial into the show. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Your boy Smitty is here to answer your phone calls, so dial on in, broskies. 125 people in here. Yes, Ada, we're doing it live. Appreciate you all. What if Barkley went to Philly? He could. I mean, you never know. The Philadelphia Eagles are probably looking at, like, okay, what could put us over the edge? I'll tell you what could put them over the edge. I'll tell you right now. Look at this right now. Imagine if this team was able to use, and when I say this team, I mean the almost Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles at the 10 pick and the 30 pick. Imagine using both of those on a huge two defensive pieces, and you brought in Saquon Barkley on a contract, and you can move the money around. Stop acting like the money can't be moved around. Aaron Rodgers signed a huge monster contract, making him one of the higher paid quarterbacks per year in the NFL when they were over the cap, and no one asked questions. They move it around. They got accountants that sit there in a room just moving things around all day long. And the Eagles, if they use both of these picks, the 30 and the 10 on defensive pieces, and then they get Barkley, sky's the limit. But I think the Eagles may take a defensive player with one of these picks, and they either take Bijan, or if they're not bold enough to take Bijan at 10, and teams do want to let him fall into the teens, then Philly taking Jahmyr Gibbs at 30. Smitty approved.
You've just been Smitty approved.
I'll take that all day long. Zeke could go to Philly. Doesn't sound like his ultimatum went over very well with management. Yeah, Zeke is a potential release candidate for sure right now. He could restructure, but we'll have to see. Zeke Elliott, they're not keeping him on his current deal. They can't afford it. It's too much money. That means Tony Pollard going to the moon yet again.
To the moon.
Potentially to the moon. Love Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard could be looking at competition, though, if Zeke's not there. So it's a pro and a con. Zeke there, old man Zeke, who's deteriorating before our very eyes. Maybe that's better than them getting lucky and drafting some really talented rookie in like the third round because they want to get another backup running back. I don't know. I'm torn on that. I don't think Zeke's taken away from Pollard this year. Given Pollard's going to get $10 million for the year on the franchise tag because the Cowboys are most likely slapping the tag on Pollard. And I predict Pollard is one of the quicker announced franchise taggees because they know what they want to do with them already. They don't have to try and negotiate a long-term deal. They may try. I guess if they let Zeke go, they could try and negotiate a long-term deal with Pollard on the tag. But because they know what they want to do, I think Pollard could get tagged pretty quickly. You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Who am I talking to?
It's me, it's G Mike.
Who?
G Mike.
G Mike. What's up, G Mike? Oh,
okay,
G.
I had a question for you.
G Mike. Yeah. What's up, pal?
Following your philosophy, I had a question for you. I'm typically in, 7, 9, 16 man roster.
Ouch.
How many of those would you commit to this changing of the guard running back class coming up?
You know what's so easy, bro? Is when people ask me this question, it's like almost like asking. There's certain like religions where if you ask the religion, hey, is your faith a religion? They're like, what are you talking about? It's not a religion. It's just the way. It's just the way it is. You know, there's no belief. It's part of their life. So like the same thing with best player available drafting. There's no separation for me. Like when you say, hey, Smitty, are you going to draft RBs? Are you going to draft wide receivers? I'm drafting the best player available every single time on the clock, and that will lead me down a running back approach sometimes. It'll lead me down a wide receiver approach sometimes, but never am I drafting a position. I'm always drafting a player, and that's my biggest piece of advice for anybody in fantasy football is every time you're on the clock, take the best player available. And that doesn't mean the player at the top of the pre-rank list like some moron. This means that in your group of players, if Garrett Wilson's 7 players ranked down, but he's your best player available, and you know he's not coming back to you, so you're not doing some kind of crazy reach. Like if you have Olave as your best player available and he's 22 people down, you're not drafting Olave. That's ridiculous. You're going to get him on your next pick. But if you're talking about your best player available being ranked number 5 or number 6 on the overall availability board, the pre-rank list, the ADP that guides the pre-rank list, you take the best player available. I do not commit to any position ever. I don't. But will Bijan, will Gibbs, will Charbonnet oftentimes rank as the best player available over wide receiver 2s? 100%. So like by default, it gets taken care of. So like ultimately to answer your question, in general, without going in with a set plan that I'm not going to deviate from, because I won't do that, Bijan, Gibbs, and Charbonnet are all top 10 running back potential guys for me. So the changing of the guard, if you get to a point where you're drafting all 3 of those guys and somehow you still have Christian Watson and Olave, sign me up. Sign me up, because the changing of the guard, I do believe these guys will all be top 10 running backs. And some might find that crazy, but this changing of the guard's real. Dalvin Cook, Chubb, Derrick Henry, maybe Eckler this year, maybe Eckler next year, but I'm still going to say Eckler by maybe week 10, week 12. I think Eckler could start off on fire, and people are going to think that they're so smart coming in here going, Smitty, you didn't like Eckler. He's doing great in week 1. He's going to do great in week 1. Let me take away your ammunition right now. Eckler's going to explode in week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. The question is, can you trade him in time? If you do draft him, then I'm okay with it. But this right here, these 3 guys, absolutely in love with their dynasty value. And if I could have all 3 over Henry, Chubb, and Dalvin Cook, or Henry, give me a name, and I'll tell you whether I like Bijan, Gibbs, or Charbonnet over the player, if you want to play the name game.
What I was like referring to is I'm watching one of your underdog drafts the other day, and you pulled like 4 or 5 out of them, and it was it's being best ball. You were like, I know who of these guys are going to hit.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so jealous of the guys in my league last year having Walker and ETN just come out of nowhere off their bench. I go, how do you do that?
But you watched me, bro, didn't you?
I probably came on week 5 this year.
Okay, because I was going to say, how did they do that? They probably watched the show, bro. They probably watched the show. Yeah. How did you do? Yeah. What's so funny though, G Mike, and I'm glad you called, bro. I didn't notice it was you until I wrote down your name. I'm like, G Mike, I know G Mike. He's in my chat all the time. I love G Mike. G Mike, I'm telling you, bro. These people are blind. And when I say these people, I mean your league mates that and maybe your league's smarter than the average league, but you get people that somehow struggle with this right here. When I say these 3 guys are going to be top 10 running backs, more people than not struggle with it. I don't know why. They're rookies, though. Didn't you just see what Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker did? How is this so difficult to imagine this happening? But the crazy part is these 2 are locks. These are in everybody's top 3 running backs, right? Gibbs is probably most people's number 2. And Bijan's everyone's number 1. This guy right here, Charbonnet's the real wild card. This is the Walker, the Kenneth Walker. Walker was going in round 8, 9, 10, and you weren't here in the offseason, G Mike, but I was sitting here saying, what do you have to lose drafting Kenneth Walker in round 8? Because like you just said, your league mates are going to say, how did he do this? It's simple. When you're talking about backup wide receivers or some wide receiver 3 you barely want to draft, and you're passing on Kenneth Walker, you're out of your mind, because this guy could be a top 5 running back and win you a league. Same thing with Charbonnet. These guys are a little more obvious, Bijan and Gibbs, but guess where Gibbs is going? Round 5, 6, 7. Don't take him in round 4. You don't need to. Don't step on your own junk while you're trying to take advantage of Gibbs all year long in the offseason and start taking him around 4, and you get everybody excited about getting him, and they see him going around 4, and then everybody keeps following suit. Round 5, 6, 7, Gibbs. Bijan, you might have to take him at 7 overall, 8 overall in the first round. We'll see. But Charbonnet is going where Kenneth Walker was going, bro. He's going in 7, 8, 9, and it's win a league material. Sean Tucker, my fourth running back, is going in like 10, 11, 12, 13. Like those are, if you could load up on just those guys, and I've been getting Kamara. I can't stand Kamara. Everyone makes fun of me in the chat because I say Kamara's a POS, but I still draft him when he's sitting there around 7.5 to 8. But like somehow I throw a Kamara in here. And then if I get Sean Tucker in the double-digit rounds, and you can even get there's several running backs I do like. I like Andre. I like Bigsby. But you get this lineup right here. You're talking about, let's say, 5 or 6 round material, 8 round material, 7, and you still have a whole boatload of room for grabbing Olaves and Garrett Wilsons, and maybe in round 2 you grab Burrow or Mahomes or Josh Allen or whatever. I love this approach, bro.
Pretty dang confident that I can get Charbonnet and Tucker for that matter late.
Yeah. Are you in a draft right now?
7 to 12 kind of thing.
You in a draft right now?
No, I'm just thinking of next year. It's just who I like, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you could easily get Tucker. Miller, too. Miller's the number 5 sneaky running back I have in my rankings. He's going to go in
I don't know much about him.
round 15. He reminds me of Marshawn Lynch, bro. He's really good.
Oh, he's that big?
Just his style.
Okay.
But yeah, he's a big boy.
Cool.
All right, bro.
All right, well, thank you, sir.
Yeah, call in anytime. I got you in the phone system, so when you call, I'll see you, and I'll answer more frequently, bro, when I see you. I appreciate you. Glad you're here. Glad you're here, man. We're going to help you win this year. You're going to dominate the draft.
Okay, thanks.
All right, later. Yeah, it's so funny, man, how people just ignore the obvious. Tucker! I can't wait to call out of work and binge the NFL Combine. It says peanut butter and waivers. The Combine, I mean, it's coming up, guys. The Combine's coming up. Important dates right here. We've got today. Today's the beginning of the free agent window, this top one. Then this Combine, the second one, February 28th. That is coming up here on Friday. I'm so excited. February 28th is coming up on I'm sorry, not Friday. Tuesday. Tuesday through. God, we're a week away from the Combine. We're a week away from the Combine. That's crazy. And then March 7 is when that franchise tag from the top one closes. March 7. Then we got the new league year and free agency kicking off on March 15. We're gonna be live like 8 times that day. April 21st, deadline for restricted free agents to sign their offer sheet. And April 27th through the 29th, the NFL draft. What an amazing couple months we got here. I'm so excited for the next couple months. If you guys want these dates, these important dates, I have it on my Instagram. Smitty, you don't think McBride will be good? I like McBride. If he falls in the right spot. I mean, I ranked him pretty high in my rookie running back ranking video. He's inside my top 10. So I do like McBride. I think McBride's a good running back. Tucker's the guy. Smitty, are you doing this small board tonight? I'm out of small boards, bro. They only give you 2. So I'll be doing the big board. Big boards tonight on Underdog Fantasy. Promo code Smitty. That link is pinned in the live chat. Get on over to Underdog. You will not, I have the code and the link. The link will insert the code for you. You will not get into a draft tonight when we go live at midnight if you're not signed up already on Underdog using that link. Promo code Smitty. They'll match up to $100 in your first deposit. So get ready. Who's got a phone call? Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Cousins went after I took him. Derek Lincoln's giving us an update. So, Derek, you went... let's see. Derek Lincoln says... Smitty, I got the kicker, and so I will get Bijan. Nice job. Nice job. Way to get a moon man, bro. Way to get a Mars man.
He's on a shuttle to Mars. Mars men.
These are the best values in fantasy football 2023.
Loads dropping and spinning aimlessly in space.
Bijan, Burrow, Jamar, the stack, Wilson, Breece Hall. Garrett Wilson's going to be amazing. Top 4, top 5 wide receiver because I think he's getting Carr or Aaron Rodgers. Breece Hall is going to bounce back on a vengeance. I'm going to do a video on the difference between Breece Hall and Javonte Williams and why I like Breece Hall so much in 2023. Jahmyr Gibbs and Charbonnet. 3 rookie running backs are on my top 7 value board. The Mars men. And we've got a satellite man.
Satellite men. Space cadets in training.
Get it, London. Look at it. Look at this man. This man's Mars. He's almost Mars men capable. Why is he not on the Moon Men list already? Why am I waiting on London? Hang tight because we might have a Mars or a Moon Man video coming up soon. Dial into the show, everybody. Your boy Smitty's ready to help you with all of your 2023 questions, your rookie drafts, everything. Thomas says, I'm new to Dynasty this year. A startup draft includes rookies and vets. Where would you be drafting the top rookie running backs? Exactly where I rank them, bro. I know it sounds so like beating a dead horse, but best player available. And my rankings on thefantasyfootballshow.com are where you'll know where my exact rankings are for each individual player. In Dynasty, I have Dynasty rankings, redraft rankings, rookie rankings, super rookie rankings, which are my most popular rankings. I have, it's absolutely 365 trade calculators, Dynasty trade calculator, redraft trade calculator, one-on-one text device, rankings galore, articles galore, thefantasyfootballshow.com. But in a nutshell, my answer to you, bro, is that Bijan is my number 1 overall running back. Him and Breece Hall are really, really close. My number 1 overall for 2023 beyond running backs. Yusuf says, Smitty, answer. Smitty, answer. And his question is Dameon Pierce on Satellite Man. Answer. Yusuf, I don't know if you're talking about the phone or if you tell me to answer your question and you're demanding it. On that note, Yusuf, I'm not answering your question. How you like that, Yusuf? Tell me what to do. I may work for you, Yusuf, but I don't work for just you. Okay? I work for everybody. London, definitely a moon man. I know. Just hang tight. London's on his way. London's on his way. That's my question. I know it's your question. I put your question on screen and purposely didn't answer because you said in capital letters, Smitty, answer.
You've just been Smitty disapproved.
If you have a phone, if you want to dial in the phone call I'm looking at right now. I didn't see that you called, so I don't think you called in, bro. I'm looking at the phone right now. Derek Lakin, keep us posted on your 3rd round pick, bro. Can't wait. Take a lap, Yusuf. He's not a jerk. We don't need to call him a jerk. We like Yusuf. Yusuf is a long-time guy here. But long-time people take laps, too. Long-time people make mistakes, too. Yusuf, the phone line's open. So, Smitty, you have like Hall over Walker. I have Hall over Walker, yes, but it's very close. It's arguable. I do have Breece Hall around number 2 or 3. I have Walker around 2, 3, 4. I'll be honest, when the wind's blowing a certain way, I might actually... Oh, Smitty, I'm Sandu. I'm sorry, bro. I was reading the comments so fast. Sandu. Sorry, Sandu. I'm sorry, bro. Ron Navy, what's up, pal?
I was going to say, you got Yusuf and you got him mixed up. You were yelling at him
I know. Sometimes I don't look at the name, and I think it's the same. It's the same person talking when they're talking about the same topic.
He said, "Oh, answer the phone," is what he said.
The phone line's been sitting here. Phone line hasn't rung at all. Sandu can take a lap for not keeping everyone else in check. I'm just kidding, Sandu. No, Sandu's my guy. Actually, Sandu has pushed my buttons before, but not lately. I don't think. So what's your take on my Brady bit? I mean, the fact that he could save the team a boatload of money and spread it out over multiple years by signing the deal. And like the guy said at the end of the article from the Boston Globe, it's possible that the Bucs wanted it that way to take their lumps in 1 year, but I don't know. I don't think they would have felt that way until they knew they couldn't get in the quarterback game, which they're very much in the mix still. Like they might bring in Derek Carr. Who knows, Like if Derek Carr goes to Tampa, or we don't know. So I kind of feel like I feel like Brady's just leaving that door cracked. He wants full control, as he should. It's his own career. He doesn't need to do anything for Tampa. I mean, it'd be nice of him to try and relieve some of that dollar hit, but I don't know. I just have a funny feeling that come mid-season, Tom Brady's suiting up for a team that loses a quarterback like Miami, suiting up for a team like the Jets or the Raiders. He really wanted to play for the Raiders. Or the Niners come a-calling because they can't keep anybody healthy at the quarterback position, and then all of a sudden Tom Brady gets to win a Super Bowl. I don't know. I just have a feeling Tom's coming back. What do you think, Ron?
Well, he could. You can't just like close the door. I mean, look at Favre. How many times he retired and unretired and then retired and unretired. That seems to be a thing nowadays. They're doing it a lot. But, yeah, Adam, my favorite wide receiver of all time is Tutu Atwell. That's my favorite.
Who? Tutu Atwell? That's Blind Larry's.
He asked me my favorite wide receiver,
yeah,
so I told him it's Tutu.
That's Blind Larry's favorite.
What do you think about? I saw a rumor today, and it was just a rumor, that Henry could go to the Bills.
I haven't seen anything substantial on that. Who reported that?
It was one of those news. You know how they conglomerate they always have like ESPN and NFL Network and all that conglomerate. They're the same ones that do all the clickbait all the time.
Yeah.
Too, so, but they did say they were talking about what if Buffalo went after.
Yeah, what if?
Henry and brought him up there. Yeah.
Yeah, just a what ifer. There's nothing out there. I'm searching the news all day long like crazy. So hypothetically, Tennessee doesn't have a team. Derrick Henry's getting older. Derrick Henry maybe has, if he went to the perfect spot, I could see myself getting a little bit more on board. I still think he'll have some sort of, big amount of missed games in 2023, even if he is able to look 100% when he's on the field for another year, because everyone says built different, whatever. But I think he will miss a grip of time. But could Henry go somewhere perfect, like Christian McCaffrey went to San Francisco, which we do believe is still he was always banged up. And we're still worried about him staying healthy in San Francisco because San Francisco gets everyone hurt somehow, some way, or they get hurt there. Okay, I'm not saying they for sure hurt everybody, but people get hurt there for whatever reason. Like if he went to the Eagles, he went to the Buffalo Bills, I think it could be very, very solid. But do I think the Buffalo Bills are the type of team that would pay a running back the amount of money Derrick Henry's going to command on his contract? What's Derrick Henry's deal? Let's see here. Hold on. Derrick Henry contract. Let's look at what he would cost for 2023. And let's look at his dead cap and everything to make sure that it's even a possible move. Because these guys are in the what if this happened game. So Derrick Henry in 2023 is owed $10.5 million. He has a dead cap of $9 million. That's kind of a lot. And he has a cap hit of $16 million. I don't think he's getting traded, but I think the Buffalo Bills would be far better off, and this is my what if. I'm not saying I have a source on this, but they'd be far better off with this number 27 overall pick, grabbing a running back that's part wide receiver like Jahmyr Gibbs. because then you could use him however you want. Like, let's say you don't want to commit to the run. And the Bills have gone back and forth on that. They used Singletary at the end of not this past season, but the season prior. They used Singletary like he was a monster. He was a top 10 running back in the last 6 games. He was one of the league leaders in touchdowns scored in the final 6 games of the Buffalo Bills 2021 season. And so they have shown that they can be balanced if they want to for a string of games, not just 1 or 2 games, like half of a year. So if they decide they want to run the ball with Jameer, they can run the ball with Jameer. If they want to throw to Jameer, they can throw to Jameer. Jameer Gibbs at 27 is a far better option for the Bills than Henry, in my opinion. Not to mention maybe you only have to give up a second rounder for him. I mean, the way RBs are valued, you don't really know. But I'd rather have Jameer Gibbs easily. But it's interesting. It's an interesting topic. And is there a world where Derrick Henry could be traded? Yeah, because the Titans are going to blow. And maybe they want to rebuild.
They have no choice, really.
They should.
They don't have a choice.
Yeah, they should rebuild. They should rebuild right now. This super chat from Christian says, if I need a wide receiver, would you trade Bijan for Garrett Wilson and JSN? I already have Gibbs, Charbonnet, Tucker, and ETN. That's a lot of value. I love Bijan, though. Bijan's the best player in that deal by I would say by far, because I love Garrett Wilson a lot. But Garrett Wilson and JSN, that's a boatload of talent. If you threw Garrett Wilson into this draft, he might be the 2nd or 3rd overall pick. But Bijan would probably get taken over him, right? So that's why you're getting JSN as well. It's additional value. I guess I'd take Garrett Wilson and JSN, both of them for Bijan probably. That's a lot of value. But in a dynasty, but it's hard. It's still hard to pull the trigger because I love Bijan that much. But shelf life for 3 to 5 years for an RB. Garrett Wilson's going to be a top 10 wide receiver, maybe top 5, depending on if they get Carr or Aaron Rodgers. And I fully expect them to land at least one of those quarterbacks. Garrett Wilson's a top 5 wide receiver this year. JSN to a lot of people is a top 5 to 10 wide receiver. I have a more borderline 10. I would say I would take that trade, but that's tough. Got good running backs.
Depends on the scoring system too, whether it's half PPR or PPR.
Yeah, that could definitely influence it. James Cook and Charbonnet would be a Walmart Browns. James Cook and Charbonnet would be a Walmart Browns. What's that mean, Sandu? What are you talking smack about my boy Charbonnet for? He ain't no Walmart nothing, bro. This is a nice, expensive glass of the bubbly called Charbonnet.
Get Charbonnet. Pop open a nice bottle of Charbonnet.
Yeah, rip on my boy Charbonnet. Call him Walmart. You're no Walmart version of nobody. I knew it was a matter of time before Sandu rubbed me the wrong way. And Yusuf says my power went out. What's that have to do with Yusuf? You screaming at me in capital letters saying, answer my question, Smitty. Call in, Yusuf.
No, he said it. Oh.
Oh, well, call in, Yusuf.
Hours out. You get a phone call.
Okay, then I don't know. Ask nicely, Yusuf. Talks in all capitals at me. Okay, Kyle says CeeDee Lamb for the 1.3 and 1.7. That's a tough one because, I mean, that 1.7 could end up being Charbonnet, like the way people sleep on him. It depends when you draft. If you draft right now, people might let Charbonnet fall. People might let Sean Tucker fall. So you could get Charbonnet at 1.3 and Tucker, or you could get, I mean, what if you got Addison and Charbonnet? It's a lot of value. Dynasty's so tough because I love CeeDee Lamb, and Lamb is the guy now. But do you probably get a guy as equal with one of these two picks? Do you land it? I think you probably will. It depends if you're rebuilding. If you're rebuilding, give me the 1.3 and 1.7. If you can win now and you won last year, or you almost won last year, and Joe Burrow and that Bengals situation and not being on the field is why you didn't win or whatever, then maybe you stick and stay the course and keep playing Lamb. Lamb Chops is a top 10 wide receiver, but I'd probably take the 1.3 and 1.7. But it's a good question. Dynasty's tough, man. Brady gets tired of a supermodel and comes back and plays. Check his head. Double A's expecting a return. Kyle Lance is it San Francisco. What's that mean? Charbonnet is Barkley 2.0. Exactly. He's like Nick Chubb too. Nick Chubb and Barkley combined. I like Charbonnet. It's Cook I don't like. Okay. Well, don't tie Charbonnet into the Walmart conversation, bro. Then he didn't do nothing. Bijan sounds like a mustard. It does. A real nice mustard. Maybe we need a mustard animation. All right, Ron, what are you thinking? What do you think of Derek Carr? I'm really, really, really feeling like super confident in this. Like if there's I don't know if there's a way to place a wager on this, but that the Jets get either, there probably isn't a wager of this variety, but that the Jets get either Aaron Rodgers or Derek Carr. I feel super confident. Like it almost feels like an absolute lock that the Jets get one of them. You know, it's the Raiders that are going to be left, like we've talked about before, and you said Jimmy G. The Raiders are the one that's going to potentially get left in the dark. I think Aaron Rodgers or Carr is going to the New York Football Jets. The Raiders, they either get Aaron Rodgers or they get nobody. And the Falcons, we're pulling for this Lamar Jackson to the Falcons thing. I think it's got legs. It's the thing we want most. It puts Kyle Pitts in London. It ejects him from the stratosphere and into a Mars trajectory. What are you thinking here? Jets feel like a lock for Rodgers or Carr?
I think the Jets will get Carr. Rodgers either stays in Green Bay or he goes to Vegas. Lamar, did you see that tweet Lamar put out earlier?
Yeah, I was gonna go.
Yeah, he's not. He don't want to be there.
Yep.
He wants to be traded.
Yeah, my next video I might do. I don't know if I'm gonna have time to do it tonight. Is going to be on Lamar, his unhappiness there, the likelihood of the Falcons and how the Falcons landing spot would just be a match made in heaven for everybody, including Lamar. It brings you back to the Mike Vick days, you know, just an exciting, you know, I've given Lamar a lot of, I've oftentimes given him a lot of shade, but it's because of his situation, you know, majority of his situation. He's in Baltimore. They don't support him. They don't give him wide receivers. They finally got a top 10 wide receiver and they trade him away. Like, so he's tied to that situation, or he has been. So me saying Lamar's going to bust 3 years in a row. I think I've been right for the most part. I mean, you could say he did really well in 2020 his second half, but he busted the first half. He's been injured the last 2 years. Like, he's been very disappointing for 3 straight years, and I think I've been right on it. But I'm not finicky or wishy-washy because I love him in an Atlanta Falcon uniform. It's totally different. You're giving him weapons galore. If Lamar goes to Miami somehow, which he probably won't, he's got weapons galore. Lamar's an absolute monster in Miami. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I took off the Moonmen list. Let me show the Moonmen real quick.
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space.
I took off the Miami Dolphin Moon Man. I put him over on the satellite. I put him over on the satellite list just in case they do end up getting Lamar. But the more and more we're getting closer to this situation, the more and more it's feeling like the Miami Dolphins are definitely not going to be getting one of these big quarterbacks. The more that we wait, the more we hear that Carr's, you know, not, we don't hear any Carr buzz at all to Miami, and I don't think they're going to give him the bag, which is what he require, because Carr's not going to go somewhere where he's not guaranteed to be the starter, because he's tired of that. He doesn't want any drama. He wants to be the for sure guy. Lamar, there's no talks to Lamar to Miami at all. I was hoping that would be kickstarted by Miami Mike, and he wanted to bring in Lamar. He apparently doesn't want to bring in Lamar. So what are his alternatives? So I don't know that we can keep. Here's the satellite men.
Satellite men. Space cadets in training.
I don't know that we can keep this QB, this Dolphins QB on here anymore. So he's probably fallen off. He's probably fallen off. But we'll see. We will see. But I'm going to probably do a video on Lamar to the Falcons. It makes Lamar Jackson a monster. It makes the Falcons a playoff contender immediately. Like they're going to be a playoff team immediately if Lamar lands in a Falcon uniform. That's all they need. That's all they've beaten teams before. Didn't they beat San Francisco last year?
Hey, Smitty, I gotta go. My dog's in distress right now. I'll try to catch you up.
All
later.
right. Hope your dog's good, bro. Later. Didn't the Falcons beat the Niners last year? The Falcons are they just need a quarterback. They just need a quarterback. They get a quarterback and they're a playoff. They're a multi-win playoff team. They can win multiple rounds. They could be a Super Bowl contender. They really could. The Falcons could turn things around like that. I think the Raiders get him. Lamar? I'm not hearing that, bro. It'd be interesting for sure. I think Rodgers is if I had to predict, this is my final prediction. This is my locked in prediction, okay? Before anything happens. I think Miami signing one of these guys right here to go with Tua, which is unfortunate for them, but that's what they're going to do. So I don't know. Let's give them Huntley in Miami, but that's not the one. That's not the one I want to talk about. So I predict that Aaron Rodgers is a Raider. I predict that Derek Carr is a Jet, and I predict that Lamar is a Falcon. I think that's going to be my projection as of this now, locking it into place. Part of me wants to say the only alternative I can see is Aaron Rodgers is a Jet, but they have to give up so much draft capital. I just don't know. But I think they want Aaron Rodgers bad. But if Aaron Rodgers is a Jet, that would mean that the Raiders end up getting screwed because the Saints would be, I think, the ones that scoop in and get Derek Carr. What's up, Double A?
What's up?
What's up, pal?
I was looking at the Falcons' schedule in 2022. The only team that actually skunked them were the Bengals.
Mm-hmm. They beat the Niners, right?
They beat the Niners 28-14 in Week 6. But here's my point. They lose Week 1 by 1 point. They lose Week 2 by 4 points. They lose Week 5 to Tampa Bay by 6. They beat the 49ers in Week 6. Week 7, they get pounded by the Cincinnati. They beat Carolina in overtime. They lose by 3 to the Rams. They lose by 10 to Carolina. They lose by 6 to Washington. They lose to the Steelers by 3. They lose to the Saints by 3. And they lose to Baltimore by 8.
Wow. Woo! Yeah.
So they might only need a little piece.
Yeah.
Tony to be watching.
Tony says Falcons aren't a QB away. I think so, bro. I think they're a QB away from being a top 8 team in the NFL, guaranteed. And then they have the opportunity to knock off any team during the playoffs and make a little playoff run. Everybody and their mother said that the Bengals weren't going to do anything the year they won their division. Now everybody seems to remember it differently when I was getting made fun of saying the Bengals were going to win the division in 2021. They were a Super Bowl contending team, and everyone laughed at it. Jamar Chase isn't the answer. Jamar Chase isn't the answer. He's not the difference maker everybody says he is. That he's not. How are you going to keep Burrow upright? How are you going to protect Burrow? How are you going to protect Burrow if you draft Jamar Chase? So we've heard it all before. The Falcons.
Even an NFL coach thought you were wrong.
Yeah, that was funny.
Or an ex-NFL coach, forgive me.
Yeah. That full interview was funny.
They need one piece, and I was looking at some of the latest mock drafts. Of course, it's pretty early now, but looking at maybe taking that Skoronski kid from Northwestern and moving him to guards, they'd have an awful good offensive line, and if you could get Jackson behind that, and then you got Pitts and London. And forgive me, what's that bowling ball running back they have?
Who are you talking about?
Atlanta.
Algier.
Yeah. They'd have a pretty formidable offensive squad there.
Yeah, it's gonna be unreal. They're gonna be so fun to watch. It feels so much like Mike Vick days. But Kyle Pitts and London to the moon. Saquon suitcase. Yeah. Well, I mean, bro, the franchise tagging Danny Dimes. That means that Saquon's got his bags packed. They can try and keep him, but they're gonna have to give him $14-15 million a year. And they don't seem to want to do that. Maybe at the end of the day, push comes to shove, they ink a deal before March, 15. But Saquon Barkley's got his bags packed. It's just a matter of do the Giants come back before he gets to the train station and give him what he wants? Because Saquon Barkley might be elsewhere. He might be playing in Miami. He might be playing in, I don't know. I mean, I don't think he's going somewhere like Las Vegas because they would just franchise tag Josh Jacobs because that works, right? But they may or may not do that. Tough to say.
I see Daniel Jones wanted $45 million.
Yeah, he wants to be paid like he's Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah, everybody does.
Two of us there. Daniel Jones.
Yeah. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. You're right, and I don't think it will. They're going to franchise tag him. They're going to franchise tag him for sure. All right, Double A, I got to run. I'll be back tonight. I appreciate you calling in, pal.
See you there, boss.
All right, see you tonight. Call in again tonight. Later.
Bye.
All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'll be live like I am every single Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. So I'll be live tomorrow. I'm live whenever news breaks. I'm also live Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, which is tonight. Tonight is Tuesday. I'll be live at midnight drafting on Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. Get on over to Underdog. The link is pinned in the live chat. The link is in the description. They'll match up to $100 dollar for dollar. So click that Underdog link that I have pinned and get that extra 100. If you drop 100 or if you drop 50, they'll give you 50. If you're not signed up and ready to go, you're not going to make it in the drafts tonight. You got to do this ahead of time. The link is pinned for a reason. Go sign up, get ready, and we'll be drafting tonight. We'll be talking probably Lamar. I might do a Lamar Jackson live stream and talk about this, as Ron Navy said, this tweet, and just kind of, I've been meaning to do that the last 12 hours. I just haven't had time. But Lamar Jackson and why he's going to Atlanta, we hope, we think. And we'll reference Double A's research that he did right there, because that's pretty interesting. The fact that the Falcons were literally in the mix of every single game but the Bengal game. The Falcons are a quarterback away from being a monster. They are. The Falcons are a quarterback away, a Lamar Jackson away from being an absolute monster. And I think Lamar knows it. I think Lamar wants it. Lamar feels it. And I think Kyle Pitts,
the moon men, dropping loads in outer space.
I think Kyle Pitts needs it and is requesting it.
Space Monsters.
And I think Drake London
Satellite Men.
vaults
Space
immediately.
cadets in training.
He vaults immediately onto the Moon Man list. In fact, he might be on the Moon Man list by the next 12 hours. So follow me for all that. I'll see you all later. Thank you for the super chats. Who dropped a super chat tonight? One was Christian Silva. Appreciate you, Silva, dropping that super. Appreciate Derek Lincoln. Appreciate everybody in here. Appreciate Ron Navy. Hope your dog's okay, Ron. Everybody drop a prayer emoji and a Ron Navy emoji for his dog. His dog was in distress, he said, or something. So hopefully his dog's okay. Ben, appreciate you. Danger, Richie Rich, Mealy, Nevin, interesting, non-interesting name, Joe, Philip, all you guys that were first in the building. Appreciate Terry Roberts in the chat doing Terry Roberts things.
To the moon.
What a moderator this man is. And we'll see you all later. Ron Navy's dropping a super chat. Thank you, Ron Navy. Ron Navy dropping a super chat while his dog's in distress, even. And Ron Navy says, dog's okay. She was choking, gave her my steak bone, and she got a piece stuck. Ron's given he eats steak like a king, and his dog eats the steak bones like a king. This is Ron Navy character. Nice job, Ron. Way to be a lifesaver. Ron doing CPR on a dog while live on a show, while dropping a super chat. Ron Navy, Smitty approved.
You've just been Smitty approved.
I will see you all tonight. See you all tonight. People are getting burrowed left and right, and people are going to remember it.